Fellow Americans, we have a problem with dill. There is way too much in the way of dill coming out in foods these days. Everything you can imagine. You can get a Slim Jim, a beef jerky Slim Jim in dill pickle flavored. I wouldn't be surprised if Gatorade suddenly came out with dill flavored. And of course, Lay's is on the bandwagon with, as you might have guessed, dill pickle flavored Lay's. So let's take a look at these. Here are the nutritional facts. I'm always looking for sodium. Sodium is 160 milligrams, 7% of the RDA at about 17 chips. Okay, that's pretty reasonable. These are promising to be tangy, tart, and crispy. And let's take a look at the ingredients, which are pretty much typical of what you would find in a Lay's chip. Potatoes, vegetable oil, canola oil, soybean and or sunflower oil, and that would be whatever was cheaper at the time. Maltodextrin made from corn, and then less than 2% of natural flavors, salt, potassium salt, and garlic powder, vinegar, and yeast extract. Okay, so the vinegar and the garlic powder would be one of the main ingredients of pickles, basically cucumbers in vinegar. So let's see what these things taste like. Vinegar. Now, I know that Lay's has done salt and vinegar. I think that started back in the, I'm wanting to say the late 80s or the 90s in the blue bag. The salt and vinegar has been around for a while. Here's what's in the bag. And on the nose, the aroma of these is salt, vinegar, and dill. So, and of course, if you're making your own pickles from cucumbers in vinegar with some garlic powder, dill is going to be the main ingredient of making your own homemade pickles. So here's what one looks like. It is not ridged. The ridged Lay's are my favorites, and I don't believe that these are available in ridged. So let's see what they taste like. Savage crunch to these. I think that's because I picked a chip that was folded over, so I kind of got a double chip there. Let's just get a single chip here. This one. Surprisingly to me, the vinegar reminds me of British malt vinegar. And I'm pretty sure that Frito-Lay did not go so far as to just surprise people and not brag about it and include a high quality British malt vinegar. But that's the impression that I'm getting. I'm getting malt vinegar, and unfortunately, the dill to me tastes a bit synthetic. So the aroma, it's vinegar specific to malt vinegar, according to my palate, and potatoes, of course. And oddly, I can almost smell a little bit of salt, and that could be my brain doing that, because I don't think you can smell salt. But to me, they smell salty, and I guess that's another ingredient of dill pickles. So these are good. I've tasted other dill snacks recently where the dill is just like, gah, in your face. These aren't that way. Uh, I would say the dill is mild. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say the dill is between a 3 and a 4. It's the volume is not cranked all the way up like some things that I've tasted recently. And I don't know if these are available anymore. Would I buy them again? Maybe. Maybe so. But there are so many different flavors of Lay's to try, such as the newest ones that just came out, kettle cooked cheesy buffalo dip, and then even Lay's Frank's Red Hot Sauce. With so many flavors being released, I can just see this one drifting away as to water under the bridge when, you know, it's really quite good. I have no criticism of this, and I'm a little bit surprised that my palate has a category for synthetic dill because the dill to me is just, it does not come through as being natural. And I'm very surprised that I would perceive the vinegar in this to be a British malt vinegar, but that's what I'm getting. Hmm, quite nice. And of course, there's some dill right there on the package. They do deliver, yes, and I'll give these a 7 out of 10 because I think the dill is mild enough that it's not intrusive. It's not overpowering. And if I were to take a jar of pickles at 3 a.m. and go and pop that thing open and eat a pickle, like all of us foodies have done in the middle of the night, this chip represents that experience quite well. The main ingredients, uh, the cucumber, which has been pickled in vinegar juice, is there. The dill is there. And they're very, very slightly sweet. There's also been a trend of sweet potato chips, not made from sweet potatoes, but potatoes that have been sweetened. And I've even seen that happening in Japan, where there's a trend of potato chips that are using more sugar than what was customary in the past. And this does not do that, but it does have the sweetness that would be representative of picking a spear out of a bottle of pickles and just chomping on that. So yeah, I'll give these a 7. Personally, I would just prefer a dill pickle. So until next time, peace out from the food department of the timescales in San Francisco. Bye.